If you want to watch this kind of news, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and have a good time. BMW recently announced a $1.7 billion investment to help prepare its large Spartanburg plant in South Carolina to produce electric cars and SUVs. This amount also included $700 million for the construction of a battery manufacturing plant nearby. Spartanburg is BMW's largest factory anywhere in the world. It employs 11,000 people and produces 40,000 SUVs a year, of which only 40% are sold in North America. The rest are exported to 120 other countries. It's one of such announcements in recent months and years as automakers have started to produce more mostly electric vehicles. Mercedes, Hyundai, Honda and others have also announced battery plant construction projects in recent months. BMW's announcement comes after the Biden administration's Inflation Reduction Act passed, which limits tax incentives for electric vehicles to those largely based in the US-based battery manufacturing and raw material sourcing. Based on the manufacture of the cars themselves as well as their batteries. They also require battery raw materials to be sourced from the USA and cap the cost of cars and buyers' income. Buyers can receive full tax credits only if they and their vehicles meet the requirements. But BMW President Oliver Zipse said in an interview with CNN Business that such regulation had no bearing on BMW's decision to relocate battery production to South Carolina. Simple logistics was a much more important factor. You won't be able to fly hundreds of kilograms of batteries around the world or put them on a ship, he said. You're not going to do that. You're going to localize it anyway. Zipse said the IRA's rules not only unnecessarily strain American manufacturing, but also risk negative repercussions for the American businesses they are designed to protect. An IRA does not provide any benefits to vehicles not sold within the US, no matter how American-made. More importantly, protectionist regulations that try to wall off American-made vehicles for American buyers could lead to retaliation and jeopardize valuable export business, Zipse said. A BMW M60 all-electric sports activity vehicle manufactured at BMW's factory in Leipzig, Germany. BMW's South Carolina plant is also preparing to produce electric cars. You can never make a regulation without looking at the results of other regulators, he said. And I'm just warning you that we're getting a tit-for-tat arrangement. Simply put, as a practical matter, it's difficult to wall off the automakers' supply chains as the IRA demands, Zipse said. The assumption that you can promote an industry that is entirely in one region of the world from A to Z in a complex industry like the automobile industry is a false assumption, he said. Zipse also warned of the potential unintended consequences of regulations banning the sale of non-zero emission vehicles beyond a certain date, as in some US states and Europe. First, it could mean that overall industry sales will fall. We don't believe these drivetrains will make up the entire market of today's size, he said. Zipse said that not all consumers can have EV chargers in their homes, instead many people may decide to drive their petrol cars longer or buy used gas-powered cars. Some automakers, such as BMW's rivals General Motors and Mercedes-Benz, apparently aren't worried about the prospect of falling sales and have announced plans to switch to all-electric by a certain date. BMW has never publicly stated that it plans to produce electric-only vehicles after a certain period of time. Unlike some automakers, such as GM and Volkswagen, which make electric vehicles on completely different engineering platforms from their petrol cars, BMW designs its vehicles to be produced as electric, plug-in hybrid or purely petrol. BMW executives highlight this type of flexibility to respond to market demands for different vehicle types. Instead, he said, regulators should gradually introduce stricter emissions restrictions, as regulators have done in the past, while leaving it up to automakers how best to achieve these targets. To date, this approach has not been able to stop the increasing global warming. But Zipse insisted that BMW could manage whatever regulators decide. We can easily increase them, Zipse said of the growing regulatory demand for electric vehicles. All of our factories are suitable for producing electric vehicles. We have a flexible approach.